the world's 10 deadliest earthquakes. The power of the deadliest earthquake on record was equivalent to the simultaneous explosion of 37,000 Hiroshima bombs. Each year, our planet experiences about 5 million earthquakes, meaning that tens of thousands of locations feel some degree of seismic activity every day. While most earthquakes occur at a distance or are too minor to be felt, a major earthquake can cause devastation on the scale of nuclear weaponry, making it one of nature's most terrifying forces. And since earthquakes often strike without warning, they are nearly impossible to guard against. Today, let's join Curious World as we look back at the 10 deadliest earthquakes in human history. Number 10, the 1995 Kobe earthquake. Kobe, Japan's seventh largest city, was one of the first to open for trade with foreign countries. However, on the early morning of January 17, 1995, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake changed everything. The earthquake resulted in over 43,000 injuries, more than 6,400 deaths, and the collapse of 190,000 buildings. Over 300,000 people were left homeless. More than 500 fires broke out after the tremor, causing direct economic losses of up to $100 billion. The city's economy was set back decades. More than 1.2 million volunteers and even local gang members took part in rescue efforts. The disaster exposed flaws in Kobe's city planning, poor seismic design, narrow roads, overcrowded buildings, and a lack of open spaces. This catastrophe prompted Japan to improve its earthquake-resistant construction and urban planning. Number 9, the Tangshan earthquake. This earthquake occurred in Tangshan, Hebei Province, China, and is regarded as one of the top 10 natural disasters of the 20th century. Before the earthquake, Tangshan was an industrial city with over 3.6 million people. However, in the early hours of July 28, 1976, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake reduced the city to ruins. The earthquake caused over 242,000 deaths and 164,000 serious injuries, with 97% of buildings and 55% of production facilities destroyed. Transportation, water supply, electricity, and communication systems were completely disrupted, with economic losses exceeding $1.46 billion. Most victims were asleep in brick and concrete buildings that lacked reinforcement. The weak structures were unable to withstand the quake, and since most residents were unprepared, many were buried in their sleep, unable to escape. Number 8, the Nepal earthquake. On the morning of April 25, 2015, an 8.1 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal, with its epicenter near the popular tourist city of Pokhara. The region's mountainous terrain made it highly susceptible to secondary disasters like landslides, and many buildings, mostly constructed with rubble and mud bricks, had weak seismic resistance. The quake resulted in 22,303 injuries and 8,786 deaths, with over 517,000 buildings damaged and 513,400 completely destroyed. Numerous historical and cultural sites were heavily impacted, with economic losses exceeding $5 billion. The earthquake also affected Tibet in China, India, Bangladesh, and Bhutan, with casualties reported in all these countries. Number 7, the Wenchuan earthquake. On May 12, 2008, at 2 p.m., a powerful 8.0 magnitude earthquake struck Wenchuan County in Sichuan Province, China. At that time, approximately 83 million people lived in Sichuan, with Wenchuan being a major agricultural hub. However, this earthquake changed everything. The tremors were so strong that they were clearly felt in Beijing, 1,500 kilometers away, and Shanghai, 1,600 kilometers away. The intense shaking, which lasted for 2 minutes, destroyed 80% of buildings near the epicenter, resulting in over 69,000 deaths, 18,000 missing persons, and more than 37,000 injuries. The earthquake caused direct economic losses totaling 845.1 billion yuan, delivering a devastating blow to countless families and the local economy. Number 6, the Concepcion earthquake, Chile. On February 27, 2010, the small town of Concepcion in southern Chile experienced a powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake. Concepcion, home to about 6,600 people, is one of Chile's largest wine-producing regions. The quake struck in the early morning hours, with only a few winemakers still tending to their vineyards. This 3-minute quake shifted the entire town 3 meters to the west. After the 8.8 magnitude quake, multiple aftershocks above 6.0 in magnitude followed, triggering a tsunami that caused severe damage to coastal towns in central and southern Chile. A widespread power outage affected 93% of Chile's population, and the tsunami's effects were felt as far away as Australia. The earthquake resulted in at least 750 deaths, with economic losses estimated between $15 billion and $30 billion. Number 5, the Kamchatka earthquake, Russia. Few people may know that Russia has also experienced powerful earthquakes, and this one ranks as the fourth largest globally since 1900. This earthquake occurred on November 5, 1952, with its epicenter located 81 miles off the coast of Russia's Far East Kamchatka Peninsula. Fortunately, Kamchatka is one of the least densely populated regions in the world, with fewer than 1 person per square kilometer, so there were no casualties from this powerful quake. However, the earthquake triggered a tsunami that reached as far as the Hawaiian Islands, causing damage to several boats caught in the waves. Number 4, the Great East Japan Earthquake. On March 11, 2011, a powerful 9.0 magnitude earthquake struck off the Pacific coast of northeastern Japan. This quake shifted the geographical position of Japan's main island by 2.4 meters. The epicenter was located about 130 kilometers east of Miyagi Prefecture, with a focal depth of 20 kilometers. The massive tsunami triggered by the earthquake caused devastating damage to northeastern Japan, especially in Iwate, Miyagi, and Fukushima prefectures. According to reports, the earthquake affected 12 prefectures, resulting in over 15,900 deaths and more than 2,500 missing persons. The most serious consequence was the nuclear leak at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, marking the worst nuclear disaster since the Chernobyl explosion in 1986. High radiation levels forced approximately 230,000 people to evacuate, with direct economic losses amounting to $200 billion. The impact of this disaster will be felt for many years to come. Number 3, the Indian Ocean Earthquake. On December 26, 2004, a 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the northern coast of Sumatra, lasting 8 to 10 minutes, making it one of the longest recorded earthquakes in history. However, the most devastating effect was not the earthquake itself, but the massive tsunami it triggered. In areas like Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Myanmar, people observed the sudden retreat of seawater, unaware that it was a warning sign of impending danger, and were instead drawn to watch. By the time they realized a 30-meter wave was racing toward them, it was too late. The earthquake and tsunami affected up to 14 countries, resulting in over 292,000 deaths and more than 510,000 injuries, making it one of the most costly and deadly natural disasters in history. Number 2, the Alaskan Earthquake. On March 28, 1964, a 9.2 magnitude earthquake struck Prince William Sound, Alaska, with a focal depth of 25 kilometers. It remains the strongest recorded earthquake in North American history, lasting a full 5 minutes and causing tremors felt across Alaska, the Yukon, and British Columbia. This earthquake released energy accumulated over more than 500 years, with far-reaching effects. Kodiak Island, about 320 kilometers from the epicenter, was permanently raised by 9 meters, while southeastern Anchorage sank by 2.4 meters. The earthquake also caused the U.S. Air Force's ballistic radar detectors to go offline for 6 minutes during the Cold War, marking the only unexpected interruption in Air Force history. Approximately 131 lives were lost. Fortunately, the quake didn't strike a densely populated area, otherwise, the death toll would have been significantly higher. Number 1, the Great Chilean Earthquake. On May 21, 1960, at 3 p.m., a massive 9.5 magnitude earthquake struck Chile, marking the strongest earthquake ever recorded globally. Over the next 10 days, Chile was hit by a series of aftershocks. During this period, 6 dormant volcanoes erupted, and 3 new volcanoes emerged. The 9.5 earthquake on May 21 also triggered the largest tsunami of the 20th century, with waves sweeping away most coastal buildings and damaging over 160,000 homes. Statistics report that the disaster resulted in more than 52,000 deaths, 117,000 injuries, and left over 2 million people homeless. When adjusted to today's standards, the economic damage is estimated to be around $5 billion. Alright, that's all for this video. Out of these 10 devastating earthquakes, which one left the deepest impression on you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.